Have you ever felt that an old game looks better than many modern releases? Well, some games really do age better than what's coming out today, so I've put together a list of 15 games that still impress even years later. And to kick things off, we're heading straight to the golden sands of one of the most stunning open worlds of the last generation. Some folks swear that Assassin's Creed hit its visual peak with Shadows, but if there's one game that still shines like a pyramid under the desert sun, it's Origins. Ancient Egypt has never looked so beautiful. Every dune, every oasis, every temple is a visual spectacle. And it's not just about technical power. The art direction in this game is breathtaking. The warm tones, golden hues, and the sunsets reflected on the Nile. That's the kind of game where you go in to complete a mission and end up lost in photo mode for half an hour. Even with so many new Assassin's Creed entries since then, none quite match the visual impact that Origins delivers. Without a doubt, it's one of the most detailed open worlds I've ever explored. This one's practically unanimous. The Witcher 3 isn't just one of the greatest RPGs of all time, it's still gorgeous today. The game's atmosphere is something else. Forests have distinct personalities, villages feel alive, swamps carry a mysterious vibe, and the cities are rich with history. Not to mention the dynamic soundtrack and changing weather, which completely transform the world's mood. And with the next-gen update, it's even more detailed now with global illumination, 4K textures, and full ray tracing support. The legend, the meme, the walking benchmark, Crysis 3. This game made more PCs cry than any other, but the truth is, it was way ahead of its time graphically. What really stands out is the dense vegetation, lighting, reflections, particle effects, and even physics. Everything feels refined and immersive. The setting, New York partially reclaimed by jungle, creates a wild visual contrast that feels more like a tech demo than an actual game. Released in 2013, Battlefield 4 was a jaw-dropping showcase for what the Frostbite engine was capable of back then, with real-time destruction that left everyone speechless. You'd be mid-battle and out of nowhere a 50-story building would collapse, complete with dust, debris, and particles, still visually impressive even now. The way the game handles destructible environments remains a benchmark. And incredibly, it still runs beautifully on older consoles and mid-range PCs. That's solid optimization with top-tier visuals, something rare these days. Not to mention the stunning maps, each one featuring a unique Levolution event, turning chaos into pure eye candy. Metal Gear Solid 5. The Phantom Pain is a masterclass in visual realism. The facial animations, dynamic lighting, and detail in the uniforms, weapons, and weather systems are next level. And all this within an open-world map, featuring day-night cycles, sandstorms, enemy patrols with AI that adapts to your playstyle, and a level of visual fidelity that's still jaw-dropping. You can see sweat dripping from Snake, light reflecting off his binoculars, and bushes swaying in real time with the wind. It's the kind of game that makes you stop playing just to take in the scenery. This one I've been replaying for the past weeks. Released in 2013, BioShock Infinite didn't need ray tracing or 4K textures to be visually breathtaking. What truly shines here is its art direction, and it shines brilliantly. The floating city of Columbia is one of the most iconic and beautiful settings in gaming history. Everything is vibrant and colorful, with architecture inspired by early 20th century design and an almost surreal sense of depth. Every corner of the game feels like a living painting, with natural lighting, rich environments, and details that make you stop and admire. It's the kind of beauty that ages well because it's not dependent on realism, it's driven by artistic vision. Gameplay may have split opinions, but one thing's undeniable. Need for Speed 2015 is one of the most visually stunning racing games ever made. Its aesthetic draws heavily from classic Fast and Furious vibes, with constant rain, neon-reflected streets, and that moody nighttime energy straight out of a 2000s hip-hop video. The game delivers flying particles, highly detailed cars, and absolutely gorgeous lighting realism. Even 10 years later, it still looks better than many modern racing games. If you powered on a PS3 in 2010 and launched God of War 3, chances are you couldn't believe your eyes. It was a technical marvel at the time and still holds up today. The scale of the bosses, the lighting effects, the fluid animations, all of it felt downright cinematic. That opening sequence where Kratos faces Poseidon with the ocean roaring in real time? It's just unforgettable, and all that without triggering the PS3's yellow light of doom. Even amid the saga's raw brutality, the game has a strong sense of artistic direction, filled with vivid colors and mythological environments that make everything feel even more epic and impactful. This was one of the first games to truly show off the power of the PS4, and it still looks stunning today. Second Son takes place in a stylized, fictional Seattle full of energy, with unbelievable particle effects, powers that burst into smoke and light, and a constant rainy vibe that adds a special charm to its open world. Every power Delson unlocks has a distinct visual impact, with effects that still outshine some modern titles. City reflections in puddles, animations, urban atmosphere, everything was crafted with absurd attention to detail. Second Son is one of those games that proves the PS4 era kicked the door down graphically, and it still puts on a visual show. Released back in 2016, Gears 4 marked a huge leap for the franchise, and it's still jaw-droppingly beautiful, especially on PC and Xbox Series running at max settings. Powered by Unreal Engine 4, the game boasts dynamic lighting, intense textures, and brutal weather effects like lightning storms and sandstorms that actively affect gameplay. Despite all that visual richness, it runs smoothly, delivering non-stop action, explosions, and dramatic dismemberment. From massive ruined cities to abandoned factories, the fidelity is off the charts. Hands down, one of the best-looking Xbox One games ever. Despite the terrible launch in 2015, Arkham Knight remains one of the most visually striking games ever made. Think rain-soaked streets, neon signs, and Batman's cape fluttering in the wind. Gotham City here is alive, dark, and carries that perfect blend of gothic ambiance and futuristic flair. The Batmobile may have stirred up debate in terms of gameplay, but visually, it's flawless. Reflections on wet pavement, smoke effects, costume textures, everything is executed impeccably. Running at 4K on PC, this game feels like a next-gen title in disguise. It's the visual peak of the Arkham trilogy, even outshining Gotham Knights, which released 7 years later. When it comes to beautiful games, Rise of the Tomb Raider absolutely deserves a spot. Released in 2015, it was already visually absurd at launch, and today, it's still one of the most impressive adventure games out there. Dense forests, snowy mountains, ancient tombs, and dynamic weather effects make everything feel ultra-realistic. And Crystal Dynamics went all out. Lara's animations, natural lighting, snow buildup on her gear, it's a technical showstopper from start to finish. Not only is it visually gorgeous, it's a great game too. Released in 2019 with visuals fit for 2025, Metro Exodus is easily one of the most breathtaking first-person shooters in gaming history. And it's not just about realistic graphics, it's about the atmosphere it builds. Its post-apocalyptic Russian setting is painstakingly detailed, with masterful light and shadow work in tunnels and open areas. With ray tracing turned on, the game becomes jaw-dropping. Realistic reflections, global illumination, and particle effects are everywhere. Add in dynamic weather, full day-night cycles, and diverse locations ranging from forests to radioactive deserts, and it's the kind of game you pause just to take a screenshot. Say what you want about Ubisoft, but Watch Dogs 2 is a visual treat to this day. Released in 2016, it took the franchise to a vibrant, sunlit, ultra-detailed version of San Francisco, an absolute contrast to the first game. Everything is colorful, stylish, and alive. The level of detail is impressive. Mirrored building reflections, realistic textures, lively city energy, and absolutely gorgeous sunsets. It's basically a tech playground with flawless visuals. Even with such a massive open world, the performance remains solid, a masterclass in optimization and art direction. If you're talking about older games that still feel fresh, Final Fantasy XV is essential. Launched in 2016, it blends fantasy, open-world design, and stunning visuals that still amaze today. Powered by the Luminous engine, it achieves miracles. The world is massive, breath-stealing skies, dense forests, realistic deserts, and crystal-clear waters. Even if you're not into JRPGs, it's hard not to be impressed by the visual polish. Story may divide fans, but visually, it's a masterclass in both artistic vision and tech. So, my lunatics, out of all these, which one do you still think looks the best today? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you can keep discovering amazing games with me. Until next time!